Yesterday, it was almost impossible to figure out what was going on. See Clayton there keeping her hand dry up her shirt.
The fact that Bob had 11 children with 7 different women.
Cha-cha, it's hard. Me don't even lick them. I don't even lick me, not lick them. Me not lick them.
Me love Dingy, but Dingy gonna hell. Dingy. I've never been this disrespectful. Disrespected in my whole entire life by nobody. Like what the Caribbean Music Awards did to me.
Box cover, this is TheDuttyBerry and welcome to a brand new top 10 social media countdown. It is another day, another week, and another moment where we have to celebrate and be grateful for life. Once again, thank you, Burritos, for all of the outpouring of support and love. Yes, man, the social media countdown is here, and I just need to give you a quick update. I've been on break with the Song Association show just to sort out some little in-house difficulties, but the show is back and will be with a brand new episode this Thursday at the usual 6 o'clock time. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. But anyway, we have a whole heap of topics to jump into. So let's get the countdown started.
The dirty, the berry, the juicy, the scoop. All the things are going on and missing on the news. Tell your sister and your auntie said the countdown coming soon. All the drama what you want, you can tune into the youth. Like, yo, hey. Box cover, cover all the topics like a hymn. Pot cover, mix up, blender. All them suck me out, what happening on the week, yo, just tune in. Zine.
Number 10, Dingy update. No Burritos, you remember when I spoke about Dingy on the last social media countdown? As a matter of fact, I never really chat about Dingy. You know, he was the random video of the week. So if you missed it, this is it.
Me love Dingy, but Dingy gonna hell. Dingy not dead nowhere, no tune. I know some people got heaven. Lord of mercy can't, nothing Lord of mercy Dingy never say. I'm saying to us, we have to know where we are doing and say, people need to repent. Dingy never repent.
Yeah, man, and so since then, everybody did have to go find out what made the people them at the funeral hate Dingy so much. Why them believe said Dingy have to go, on a VIP ticket, go straight to hell. What did he do? Well, so social media got to researching, people find out, get him picture. And then, the Star do a whole story about him. And apparently, Dingy did very, very busy in his life. Take a listen to some of the reports.
Finally find out how Dingy do. Dingy breed the 2 sister them and then go marry the cousin. That's why the family and bring him down. Dingy Africa Elfit show, Edway.
My Boxfoot said look like said Dingy was making use of people in a particular family and him never Dingy never know the name condom. Dingy just out here live in best life and create turmoil within the family. And so boy oh boy, Burritos, let me know what do you make of this. Have you been to funerals where I saw the people them talk about the deceased? Sound off below. Number 9, rain take over. Me hazard light. Alright, Burritos know. So me don't know what did that go on, for the past 2 days. But the entire Jamaica come like it was going to be engulfed in just water. Because we had some very heavy rain that did fall, and the rain it just continues. But I don't think anyone expected it to do such a number on the streets of Kingston and all over the corporate area. Take a look. No man, that is crazy. That is crazy. One of the story them, one woman have our host in New Kingston spoke about how fear entire room, was just like taken over by flood because what it's supposed to got the drain never reach her. The drain and everything reaching her house and she lose so much furniture and her appliances. Just quite sad and quite devastating. I wonder we're going to reimburse the woman. But Burritos, just let me know, were you affected by the heavy rains in Kingston and across Jamaica? Sound off in the comments. Number 8, Cindy speaks. Miss Side Chick. Okay, but readers know. So, say Cindy Breakspear, former Miss World. Man, Miss Jamaica, Miss World, and lover of Bob Marley recently sat down with Entertainment Reports to share about, what she really felt watching the One Love Bob Marley movie, as well as how she is portrayed, in the media, and just to clear up some of the rumors. Take a listen.
And sadly, it was not critically acclaimed, as everybody knows. Not me say so. It was not critically acclaimed.
Did the movie do a disservice to you?
Yes, I think if I am to be honest, I would say so. I was in a relationship with Bob for 6 years at the end of his life. And, I wasn't the only one, I think, who felt hard done by. There were other people in the story who were cut out at the last minute. Peter Tosh being one of them. I don't think he saw much of Skill, who we just lost. So it kind of was condensed to a particular product. And I think that there were many of us who felt hard done by at the end of it.
Cindy is about that life. Like, for a girl like that, we take Bob Marley, and she don't feel too much shame because she not gonna make the people them out of public make she feel like she had the worst thing in the entire world. Cindy's just like, yo, at my experience, and this happen. Yeah, you take a girl, man, and so what?
In the context of the marriage, did you succumb to guilt at any point?
No. I did not pursue Bob Marley. He pursued me.
Like, I'm like, Cindy, I have to respect that, because merciful. I have to respect that, and at the end of the day, like, she's a person who gave birth to, another heir to the throne, Damian Marley. Like, come on, man.
But by then, there was Damien. There was no turning back. I couldn't send him back. So, what you going to do?
Oh, God. So, big up to Anthony Milano for, like, always getting these priceless interviews. And Cindy, big up yourself, because, yeah, man, I can appreciate you sharing your 2 cents about the depiction. And I just like how you're always very courageous to make your voice be heard and don't matter the critics. Number 7, Levell history. Our burritos now say, the World Championship just concluded, and I have to go and highlight the fact say Bryan Levell got a bronze medal in the World Championships 200-meter final. Come on, take a look. That is it. No, Bryan, like, I forgot to tell you this, like, he's a youngster, must just 21 years old, and he was able to break that drought. Like, it's been 10 years since Jamaica got a medal in the 200 meters, and it was just quite a very monumental occasion, and he did such a valiant run.
You personal best, talk to us how you feel.
I mean, I got personal best, I can't answer nothing.
What you have to say about back to the people and back home?
Well, big up on yourself.
Your mom, your dad,
when you run like that, and you're gonna make your personal best in our final against a Noah Lyles, you have to give him kudos and you have to give him props, and he is definitely someone to watch for the next set of years. Number 6, PM Slight Shade. Our burritos are Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Of course, he was sworn in, after winning this year's general election.
Andrew Michael Holness, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica.
It was this moment when, he made his address. Take a listen.
Now, my friends, the elections are over. We must reunite and refocus on the business of the nation. The time has come.
No, this is one of the things I always say. I just like when, you know, politics is fun. You do a little bit of jobs, a little bit of digging, but you kind of keep it light and not too, you know, keep it too overwhelming for just kind of move the energy off the day. And, you know, the fact that the Prime Minister goes about the time has come and then pause. The man know exactly what he was doing. He knew that was a moment for him to get him applause and him cheer. And to do that in front of the leader of opposition, Mark Golding, was, oh my God, it was epic. These are the things where Real Housewives of Atlanta is made of. You know, them little moments there, and the camera will just pan to him same time. I say, uno messy. Uno is messy.
Now here's this week's random video of the week.
Number 5, Kranium versus the CMA. Alright, readers know, so the Caribbean Music Awards was, you know, a few weeks ago, held in New York, and it is a day where them celebrates the best in Caribbean music. You know, at the award show, Kranium actually won an award for I think it was the R&B category or Song of the Year category. And of course, he went up and he would give him speech and he would post the pictures them all over. Only for a week later, the Caribbean Music Awards people them reach out to him and tell him, guess what? I did mistake make him get it. I never the right person win. And they were asking him to give back the award to the rightful owner, bring it to the owner, and that owner was Dexter Daps. Take a listen.
An hour after. And one never call me a week after to tell me say only make a mistake with the award when they give me. 1 week after. And to add insult to the injury. You know what bothered me the most? It's not the fact say only make a mistake, which is, but that's not what bothered me. When I go tell me say the mistake that only make was that I was not supposed to win Caribbean R&B Dancehall Artist of the Year. I was supposed to win Caribbean R&B Song of the Year. To win that when that was never even a category.
Yeah, man, and essentially when Caribbean Music Awards people reach out to him, they had Dexter Daps on the phone. Now, imagine somebody I tell you, say, you are not the rightful winner, and them have the actual person feet go to right there on the phone and hear everything. You know how messed up that be, and that must be a hit to Kranium's ego as well. And so now Kranium basically say, I'm going to boycott the CMA. Look like he don't really want nothing to do with them now because I feel violated and disrespected. And that is quite understandable. So the readers, let me know, like, how would you have addressed this situation if you know, were Kranium? And how would you have handled it if you were coming from a marketing PR perspective as Caribbean Music Awards? Right now, me not lie. My 2 cents, me just make Kranium rock with it. I'm sorry. A week later, if I did probably like a few minutes or, you know, before him do all of the celebration, yeah, man, me da have to just make Kranium just, yeah, him go win it. Him go just keep it. Me go just left it down. Dexter not gonna know. Nobody not to know, yeah, man. Nobody not to know. Yeah, man, nobody not to know. We didn't need to bring it back to the owner. Like, we could have just keep it right there. So Berry doesn't let me know if you agree. So down below. Number 4, election win. And Berry does, I am not talking about JLP versus PNP. That did go on from a long time. We are talking about FJP versus JNP. So, you know, on the last countdown, I spoke to you about the TikTok elections between 1Clauze and Bad Sekki. Now, you know, Bad Sekki has his For Jamaican People FJP party, and 1Clauze has the Jamaican National Party JNP. Well, you know, they had their debates at Mecca. A big official thing. They even had the legendary Tony up there doing her translation up there as well.
Pulling the gate for money, Jamaica. How did he build his gate? Him sit down all day long and pull gate. His gate him use and press button. Look into his files, look into his bank accounts. How did he afford to build that gate? Corruption.
I'm going to ask him now.
He can't even think. He's unprepared. How can he lead and plan?
Huh? I'm going to say I know I have a question for him though. Because I know everything what I'm going to do already. I know say him not right for him not fit to run our people. Because him don't know what our people
He's unprepared.
Him don't know what our people are.
He has no plans.
He's never been to his bed without a meal. Can you believe that? He have never been to his bed without a meal. As I said, want call Kranium and ask him and tell him to change the lyrics to that song there. Ganja Claus, have you ever been to the ghetto?
Ask Waterford.
And you know, right after the debates, the polling stations were open. Of course, this was online by no, why may I forget the name? The clock app decides Jesus P. Me can't remember the website. So the people them could have got on it now and cast them votes. And when I tell you, the people them never there for the Jamaican National Party. Yeah, man, it was a landslide victory. When you look on the map, I just pure yellow all about. And so when you go up on the site, you could have voted for the parish, you put in your parish, and then it carry you to, you know, the parish representatives, and then you go vote for the Prime Minister, and it was overwhelming. So Bad Sekki is now the Prime Minister of the TikTok app, and I guess, you know, the people them are celebrate. And my question is, what happens now? Do we go to Bad Sekki when we're having our frustrations with Rosalee and Jakes on the app? Is this who we now take our concerns to when we're talking about or we wanting to get more taps and roses? Because we heard that Bad Sekki said that he was going to get rid of the justice of the peace when we have our different doings in Jamaica. And so we have to go hold Bad Sekki accountable for all of the promises.
Listen to me, people. People of the vote like Minister Pops YG vote. People of the JNP party. If we don't want to win the election, we don't have to make Marky he step down. We don't I have led this party tirelessly. I have dedicated my life to this party.
Yo, Sekki, yo, my youth, all people might try to vote for me and you know, brother.
Ask him, Pops.
So, Berito, sound off below. Were you team FJP or JNP? Sound off. 3. Rosalee versus CPFSA. Alright, Burritos know. So, if you were living under the rock, you never hear one story about Rosalee. You don't know who Rosalee is? Rosalee is a Jamaican TikToker that is known for her very, you know, type of braggadocious type of personality. She's full of all heap of idiosyncrasies. It's just a girl that, you know, she's quite controversial. Love her or hate her. She's very popular on the Jamaica TikTok scene. And so recently she went live and she, I guess, was having a moment and she said this.
And sometimes the pressure does feel like more mad, crazy, and just mash up like the place of fire. Stab up jokes and stab the pit of them and just everything just done and over with. And then sometimes I the things that I see are coming at me, I say, no, hold it, girl. How I feel. Don't someone have asked me how you feeling?
No, after she said this definitely ignited the people at the CPFSA, where people normally refer to as CDA, and they, you know, I guess swooped in now and took her children from her home. Because of course you can't go up on live and I say you feel like you're going to do something to your picnic them and you're going to do something to yourself. It is definitely going to draw a lot of concerns and the people that are going to do them work. And so, you know, Rosalee then went on live now and she was very emotional about it.
Oh my God. When I finally get somewhere valuable to me, when I wanna do it, Paya. I wanna do it. I wanna do it, Paya. Uno, do it, Paya. Uno, do it. And finally, since I can't break, I'm try the best, because since I'm unbreakable, and I finally reach it. Uno, break my Paya. Uno is alright. God now sleep. Right now, sleep is alright.
And then that sparked a lot of conversation on the app. Everybody talk about whether or not the CPFSA did something that was right, or, you know, them feel like Rosalee, you know, never act wrong. You know, it was just one heap of conversation that did a spark. But in the middle of this, about less than 48 hours after, Rosalee was then seen at Taboo, backing it up on her online BFF, known as Handsome Gunman, aka Akeem. Yeah man, this never really looked good. Yeah, optics, yeah man, this never very good optics. But I think Rosalee and her army of friends really know about that. It is more about, hey, me no want the press, so I'm just here gallivanting. But it just never looked good on paper. You get me? Never look good on paper for say, yo, this minute today you're ball over your kids, whatever there, and then you're out here just carrying on as you would any other day. Whether or not they did feel the pain inside, optics do matter sometimes, especially when you do have a platform. You have to be like, this not really, you know what I mean? Say? Yeah, it's like if you're one politician now and people hear you talk about you must stop crime and stop gang activity, and then right after that now you're at one of the most notorious gunman birthday party up there. I say, yeah man, boss a blank, blap, blap. Yeah man, it just, optics, it just look a little bit like, yeah man, it's like a conflict of interest right there. So you have to just, yeah man. And so, me want to hear from Unino Berridos, what do you think about this entire situation? Do you think what Rosalee did going to Jamaica was okay? What do you say of the CPFSA? Number 2, case of the ex. All right, Berridos know. So, you know, this TikTok user posted a video, you know, talking about what his ex did to him. Take a listen.
Yeah, I'm tell you, say woman a wicked youth. I say, if you cut me in no blood. Me and my baby mother left all long. She come me all the time, come mash up my place, right? Father's Day now, she give me one gift basket with some perfume and body wash and lotion and all of them something there. So, boops now, today me say me go wash my ear and get it comb and things for my birthday. Me say me I wash my ear and the dog want easy back and I wash the bathroom. You say me I wash up my ear, the whole of my head top off. The whole of my head top, lick off. Me nah no head top, the whole of my head top lick off. Right now, and then me go up here, I go do our things, the whole media go say, me a wicked.
No man, that is wickedness. That is the heights of wickedness. You hear about the heights of great men, rich and kept them, yeah man. But them type of behavior, yeah man, this was wicked. This was terrible. Putting Nair in the man things, Jesus, P man. And it was the fact that the brother just went online to go and share the story because, of course, it was going to get a lot of likes, shares, comments, and views. And it lived up to the hype. He also went on to then, you know, give an update of what happened when he went to the barber. Take a listen.
We got a barber shop to go trim, right? And from reaching a barber shop, everybody a take out their phone. Somebody decides, say, oh, I want to take mine for your mockery. So my baby mother, for all of my head top, and everybody take it as a joke. Nobody not serious, you know. Out of 900% that Jamaica, about 5% with me, you know. So I say, alright, me now bother trim. Me tell my barber if you come on me yard, come trim me. Me got the Western Union now, if you collect one money and go home. The security know the situation, because I know me good. Him mother will tell me, say, me have to take off the hat. Me can't stay in a Western Union with the hat. When me reach I window now, a lady will say to me, say, mental illness real. I mean, have to ask her what she mean by that. I security have to tell me I'm a madman.
That is crazy. That is completely crazy. Like Berridos, what is the craziest thing that an ex has ever done to you? Sound off below. And number 1 goes to Shelly retires. Woo! My word, my sentence, my paragraph, my essay, my video taker. So number 1 goes to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, closing off her, how do I describe her career? An amazing career, almost 2 decades as the queen of track and field. It has now come to an end in 2025 at this year's World Championships. And when I tell you, you know, like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, you know, came to these games, and as she would have stated that she never really got the outcome that she would have wanted, she was able to get herself a position in the finals, placed 6th. You know, which was very important at 38 years old to be able to do that, you know, in her career, and then to top it off with a silver medal in the 4x1. I mean, I forgot, big up the ladies, them, you know, and such a very brilliant run, a very smart run. Your boy, we're really going to miss Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, and what I'm going to miss most is not just her accolades just on track, but the interviews them. Oh my God, me gonna miss Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price interviews, because one thing about Shelly, you know, so when you have a mic in front of her, this girl is gonna give you Miss Universe, she's gonna give you Miss World, she's going to give you Jamaica Festival Queen, she's gonna give you all of the continental competition, them everything. Like, she is just got girl. Like, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price is Lisa on a track and field.
And it's definitely a great feeling. Again, I started my career in 2007 here in Japan, and to have this full circle moment is truly phenomenal. And to walk away with a medal is even more inspiring. You know, I worked really hard this year, and despite not having the result that I wanted in the 100, I still feel blessed. I still feel that, you know, making the final is still a huge accomplishment, and I'm hoping that, you know, somewhere along the line, athletes are inspired by that to chase their dreams and to never give up. I'm really, you know, just thanking God for how He has kept me, because I think that's so important. This year is the only year in the last 2 years I've been injury free. Things have been good. Yes, the 100 meter, it wasn't how I wanted it, but I made the finals, and I think all in all, it doesn't take away from all the accomplishments and everything that I've been able to accomplish. So I'm just hoping that the next generation of athletes will chart their own path and know who they are and stand on that.
When I tell you, you know, the girl have the beauty, she class, she has the vocabulary, she just have the ease at which she just communicates, and she's always giving you a message. That for me is what established and cemented Shelly's legacy off the track. And I'm sure it's not just me alone, many of track and field fans are going to miss that and hearing her voice as well. And I just only hope that when she done this, she becomes one of them very popular and established sports analysts and commentators that we're able to see each year at a World Championship Games and at Olympic coverage locally and internationally as well. And so Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, just big up yourself, you know, the most decorated athlete, and you've just been such an inspiration to many track fans, and you will forever be the GOAT. You will forever be an icon, and yeah man, hats off to you. And for anybody who Shelly-Ann shows up at the line with for Sports Day, yeah man, just be happy to be in her presence, because now that she's off the track, she's going to be coming full force at these Sports Days. Oh God. Anyway, burritos, leave one word in the comments to describe, you know, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Well, that's it, burritos. We've come to the end of another social media top 10 social media countdown. We know you enjoy it, so make sure to leave a like, a comment, a share. Also to check saying subscribe, because enough time we now watch and you don't subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on my social media at TheDuttyBerryShow and all of the different social media that may exist. So you know the strips. And to advertise and reach out to me for booking, the email is bookings.duttyberryshow@gmail.com. Okay, take care until next time.
The dirty are the berry, yeah, the juicy are the scoop. All the things are going on and missing on the news. Tell your sister and your auntie said the corner coming soon. All the drama what you want, you can tune into the youth.